Son of a bitch.
Groovy.
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Death Race 2000, the 1975 sci-fi classic that's about a dystopian future and a race that, I mean, it's quite the race, let me tell you. So if you are one of those people out there that are only aware of the concept of the Death Race from the 2000s remakes, quote unquote, then you definitely don't know Death Race. I mean, this isn't, in those movies, it's all just about a race and criminals and all that kind of thing, whereas the core concept of Death Race 2000 is something very, very different. For those of you who haven't seen it, essentially the core concept, like I said, is it's all about a future race in a world where the government has taken over and in an attempt to kind of keep their their grasp on society. They have this yearly event where there are these drivers who travel all across the country, and in order to win this race, they do have to get there the quickest, but more than anything else, they have to kill and maim on their way there. And their cars that they are driving have been modified in order to hit people and kill them as effectively as possible. So they have blades on their front or fake teeth or fake guns or whatever, and they mow people down and try to kill them in very grisly fashion. And for each person they kill, they get more points towards winning. And one of the things that I think is very fascinating in this story is, other than the grist, obviously, is the fact that the people that they kill are worth different points based on their age range and their health. So if they kill somebody who's basically an invalid or can't take care of themselves, that's worth more points than if they kill somebody who's of childbearing age or in their youth, they're looking on the up. So it's basically, it's very, very blatant that the society is basically trying to get rid of those that they're going to depend on them in an entertaining way, so that the masses can accept it. And as a result of that, there's also a lot of potential for social commentary as well. I mean, there's a moment that I'll never forget that comes fairly early on, where they're driving through the countryside, and this hospital decides, in an attempt to try to free themselves from all the old and elderly and infirm, that they take them all outside and line them all up in a row. So it's easy pickings for somebody that's in the race to drive by and take them out. And somebody drives by, and instead of taking them out, he drives down all of the medical personnel and takes far less points, but also gives them their comeuppance. And it's stuff like that you see across this film. Then there's also a social uprising against it, and all that good stuff. But really, for me, this movie comes down to the concept is amazing, and the characters that it creates, I mean, are absolutely stupendous. The main one that always comes to mind is there's a character played by David Carradine that goes by Frankenstein. And throughout the early part of the film, you see him, and he's always in mask, and you can see, like, he's got basically like this, and you can see he looks all scarred up, and he has a very, very quiet manner to himself, and he seems very tortured, and it's just a very, very fascinating character. And especially as the film progresses and you kind of learn more about who he is and his motivations for being there, I thought he was exceptionally well written. And this is one of Sylvester Stallone's early movies where he's machine gun is what they call him, and he's a driver who, I mean, the first moment you see him introduced on screen, he's at the race, and he gets up and he's got a Tommy gun, and he starts shooting at the audience and trying to kill people. I mean, right off the hop, you kind of know exactly what his character is all about and what you're in for with him, which I thought was absolutely stupendous, and he's a lot of fun to check out. And then you have there's a woman named Annie Smith, I believe it is, who is Frankenstein's basically his navigator, and their relationship is to me one of the core aspects of this film, and really gets at what this movie's all about. I mean, off the hop, it kind of feels like it's going to be all about the violence and all that, and the gore, and definitely, don't get me wrong, they're definitely a major part of the story. But as the film progresses, you definitely have more of an understanding of what the filmmakers were trying to say about society and violence and all that stuff. And I feel like a lot of that is really wrapped up in her character, and without her, this film, I think, would be a whole lot less successful. And then one of definitely definitely one of the most entertaining and memorable characters. And I don't know the name of the actor or the character, but I just always think of him as the television, the guy. He's basically the host of the race. He's always out there interviewing people and kind of talking over the aftermath and adding his commentary to the goings on. And he's this very, very entertaining character who you could definitely see like hosting a game show if this was kind of modern society at the time, or what have you. And he has this very over the top manner to him where he's trying to ingratiate himself to both the government and to the audience. And I think he's just a lot of fun. I just think this movie as a whole is a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, it definitely does have a lot to say about society. I mean, it's really fascinating because it is definitely revels in the violence that it creates, but also, you know, says something about the violence as well. And I thought that was extremely effective and a very, very entertaining film. So those are my thoughts on Death Race 2000. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you're a fan, if you've only seen the remakes, if you think I'm speaking of them poorly, whatever. Other than that, please hit that like button, hit that share button. It makes it much more likely that other people will come check it out and let me know what they think, which is something I would absolutely love because I love talking to people about films. Or if you're new here and you just haven't done it yet, please hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. It would absolutely make my day because I love seeing that subscriber number climb and those comments and being able to go have a back and forth with you about film. Other than that, have yourself a good day.